All right. Good evening. Ooh, good evening.
Good evening. Hi.
All right. Thank you, Diana, for allowing me to come and speak to your class. I really appreciate it. This is what I do. My name is Jeremy Hart. I'm an educational counselor. Now, some of you may have noticed here. Backwards. Why do you think it's backwards?
Catch your attention.
Excuse me?
Catch your attention.
You're correct. What else? Why do you think it's backwards? Give me some guesses.
Use your brain.
No. Well, it catches your attention, but yeah, use your brain. Catch it. What else? Some guesses.
You transposed it on purpose?
Nope. Well, I did it on purpose. What else?
You prefer for people to call you younger
Yeah. No, actually, I wrote my name like this until I was in the 4th grade. I wrote my letters and I wrote my numbers backwards.
Your dyslexia.
No. I was a special education student. And the reason why I was a special education student, not because I had dyslexia, not because I had a traumatic brain injury that caused me to see things backwards. It was because I had things going on in my life that I did not like. I had things going on in my life that I had no control over. We moved from Compton to Linwood to Gardena within my kindergarten year to 2nd grade. And when you're a kid, you don't like to move because those are your friends. And I didn't have any control over it. So somehow, some way, my brain, around 1st grade, because I used to write correctly in kindergarten, but somehow my brain just said, you know what? I'm not gonna write our letters correct. So I started to write my numbers wrong, and I started to write my letters wrong. And I remember going in all these rooms with different people, and they would ask my mom all kinds of questions. Oh, are you feeding them? My mom was like, hell yeah, I'm feeding them. Come see our refrigerator. Come, you take them home. See if you eat. What's going on at home, and this and that. And she's like, oh, well, we moved, and was his father around? No, he's not. Oh. It's like, no, that's not the issue. Let's put him on medication. She's like, oh, no. She's like, he's on the proper medication. Oh, what is he on, the belt? So I didn't get any medication, but I did get placed in a program called RSP, Resource Specialist Program. And what the Resource Specialist Program did for me was it allowed me to kind of turn some things around in my head and figure out who I wanted to be, which was Jeremy Hart. In 1986, we moved to Gardena. 1986, I met a woman by the name of Miss Elwa. She was my 2nd grade RSP teacher. And Miss Elwa is probably about this big. But in my head, she's about as tall as Shaq. Because Miss Elwa, I remember walking with her. I was so little, she was taller than me. And I remember holding her hand, and I'm walking, and I'm looking at her. She's like, you're going to be all right. I'm like, okay, whatever. And Miss Elwa stayed on me. Miss Elwa told me time and time again, Jeremy, you're just going to have to work harder than people. There's nothing wrong with you. Some people, you're just going to have to work hard than people. And I said, really? She said, yeah. And I said, for real? She said, yeah. So I'm in RSP, I'm in special education, 2nd through 6th grade. I'm going to school in Gardena, which borders Compton, Torrance, LA, off of 120th and Nelson Gunville, pretty much off the 110 freeway. The Normie Club Casino, anybody knows where that is. Or the Hustler Casino, that's more popular now. And when I got to middle school, they took me out. My mom took me out of special education. And at that time, this is the early 90s. This is Los Angeles. This isn't La Puente. This isn't Roland Heights. This isn't Pomona. This is the early 90s. Gangbanging is a religion. All the stuff that you all think about with what you hear people rap about and what you see on BET and you turn off in 45 minutes and the problem is solved, that was my life every day. That was my walk home every day. So it's funny now when I see people emulate that and try to think that it's cool and they think it's just a costume that you wear and it's part-time. Not at all. That was my everyday. Again, this isn't the San Gabriel Valley. This is Los Angeles. We lived on Rosecrans in Vermont. My grandmother lived on Santa Fe and Palmer in Compton. Now, when I get to middle school, either my friends are rapping. This is right around the time, Dre came out with the 1, 2, 3, 2, 4. Everybody's like, oh, I want to be a rapper. 1991, 1992. Jordan winning title after title after title. So either you rap Are you play ball? Are you gangbang? I play ball. I tried, but then I stopped going. So and I couldn't rap. And I didn't want to gangbang because I didn't want to get shot. That was like it hurt. And I look too good to go to jail. I can't, I can't do it. So in middle school, I played ball. Did I go to class? Nope. Did I go to class? Not at all. I still have my report cards from middle school. D's and F's. Ditching. I had fourth period math. There was second lunch at that time. I had first lunch. So I wanted to play ball. Forget math. What subject do I still struggle with today? Math. I wanted to be able to dunk. I could dunk. Can I dunk anymore? No. If I do, I'm going to be calling out to work because my knees hurt. So, here's the thing about that. I ditched. I got D's and F's. Did I ever get in trouble in middle school? No. Because I wasn't gangbanging. I wasn't a threat. I wasn't a problem. Oh, he's a good kid. He comes to class, and when he does come to class, he's quiet. He's okay. So, no red flags go up. Now I was a good basketball player. I got the opportunity to go to Redondo Union High in Redondo Beach. The coach saw me at the park playing ball, me and my boys. And he said, hey, he said, you want to come to Redondo? I was like, Redondo? I was like, Oakville Beach? He's like, yeah. And I was like, I live in Gardena. But don't worry about that. I said, call my mom. Go to payphone. Back then we had payphone. Oh, hey, mama. She said, boy, why are you talking to that man? I was like, oh, you look all right. You know, he got a little, sweater, say Redondo Union High. He could have been some kidnapper or something. I mean, nobody knows me. Long story short, I go to Redondo. I go to Redondo Union High, 9th grade. Before then, I go to school in either Compton, Linwood, or Los Angeles Unified School District. My first day at Redondo was one of those, you have those days in your life that you always remember? Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Culture shock.
Yeah. I walked into Redondo. First thing I noticed, it wasn't culture shock. First thing I noticed was like, wow, this place is clean. That was the first thing I noticed. There's no graffiti. It's clean. The grass is nice. Like, it's green. Grass is supposed to be green. This is nice. They got, like manicured trees and all that stuff. And then I noticed, like, I remember walking, I got about 2 buildings. I said, oh, I'm black.
Yeah.
I'm black. And there's all these white people, like, here, and I am black. Because I'm used to going to school with all blacks and Hispanics. And it was the first time in my life that I was a minority. In my little bubble before, everything was, that was my world, so I had never been a minority. I play basketball, and I hang out at Redondo, and my first class there, it was my second period, well, my first class was journalism. My second class was English with Miss Castles. And I remember, in Miss Castles' class, I'm sitting down, and my friend Bree is in front of me, actually, one of my good friends today. And they said, oh, yeah, this is a college prep class. I said, excuse me. I said, I'm a basketball player. I said, I just want the regular class. You said something about college? I want the regular one. I'm a basketball player. I just came here to play ball. And they said, everybody takes college prep classes. I said, everybody? They said, yeah. I said, what college prep mean? And they looked at me like I had like a third head or something. On top of the second head I already had. But I'm like, what does that mean? And they say, you just take it to go to college. And I was like, okay. Everybody take it? Yeah, everybody take it. So, go back to middle school. The thing that I forgot to tell you guys about middle school is we didn't have books. We had handouts. We never had books. We had handouts. Worksheets. They give you books at Redondo. I'm like, what the book I got to carry around? A book? This is heavy. Like, I didn't have basketball. First book I ever read. Think about this. The first book I ever read, I was 14 years old, and it was Lord of the Flies in Miss Castle's class. The first book I ever read, start to finish. I had to have a 2.0 to play ball. And at Redondo, they made you work. I had to turn in assignments. I had to go tutoring. I was like, man, I found out that I didn't know how to write a correct essay. I had to go to my friend Bree that I just mentioned. She helped me out. It was a struggle. I ended up getting a C in just about all my classes of basketball. I got an A, but I was eligible, so I played. I was so proud of those grades because I worked my butt off for it. they had a thing called a college fair. And I kid you not, college fair. They're like, yeah, it's a college fair. I'm like, cool. It's going to be girls in it? Cool. College fair. I walk in. You know, I was all suited and booted and ready. I'm walking in, ready to go see some rides. And I'm like, it's a bunch of old white people with desks. Where the Ferris wheel? Where the cotton candy? They were like, it's a college fair. Like, you know, they have colleges there. I'm like, there ain't no music and no, like, you know, the fair. You know, they was like, no food. I was like, oh. I never heard of a college fair. I never even heard. Everybody kept saying cow. I gotta get me cow. All my friends were scared. I gotta get me cow. I was like, what's cow? You don't know what cow is? I'm tired of y'all asking me if I don't know. If I knew, I wouldn't ask you. What's cow? Berkeley? Oh, I heard of that. People that play basketball. Jason Kidd one day. Yeah, I know that is. Yeah. That's all I could relate it to was sports. That was my life. Sports, music, rap. So I stopped growing. I've been the same height since 8th grade. Sad, right? And I go back to Gardena, to Los Angeles Unified. I go back to Gardena High School. I ended up back there in 11th grade. And one thing that I noticed about Gardena High School is that everybody's still on the same thing. Rapping, now everybody's into the Fugees. Now everybody's in the Shack and Anthony Hardaway. Ain't nobody talking about college prep. We don't even have a college fair. Our college center at my school was smaller than this room. So I'm like, I started looking at just the inequality. And they're like, Jeremy, you act white now. I said, what do you mean? Because why you talk like that? Like what? Because I don't say cuz at the end of the time. What's up, cuz? What's good, cuz? How you feel, cuz? My little cuz right here. What's up, cuz? Because I say how you doing? Or I ask you where do you live instead of where do you stay at? You talk funny. At the end of my 10th grade year, this rapper came out. Well, it was the first time I discovered him. He had already been out. I'm going to do this just for you, Dan. This rapper came out, and I remember being on Rosecrans and Western. I'm on a bus stop, about to catch the 125 bus, the RTD, for people that remember that. And I'm listening. I went to the swap meet, bought my little $3 single, because I heard the song that I liked. And I was like, man, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. This dude is talking about kind of what I'm torn between two worlds and what I want. And he's talking about his dreams and I dream, but damn, I'm back here on Rosecrans. I want to be over there. Not so much over there, but I want the desires that these people have. The song I heard went like this. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in a limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every that Saturday, Rap Attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock till my tape pop. What was Biggie doing in that? He was visualizing what he wanted. He saw Heavy D, he saw Salt and Pepper. He was like, I want this. Wonder why Christmas missed us. Birthdays was the worst days. How the hell did Christmas miss you? So I'm sitting on the bus stop, and I'm listening. I'm like, damn, he's ugly. But I'm like, I'm feeling this because I'm dreaming. I want to go live in a quiet area. I don't want to have my street blocked off because they're looking for a suspect every day. I want this. How do I get this? Ding, 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 ding. You're not getting any taller. You need to really, really get your life together. You need to really, really get your life together. And that's how I started my journey. Today, I'm a community college counselor, but I also used to be a middle school counselor and a high school counselor. And I work with students from all those grade levels, from 6th grade to community college. I also mentor young adults in their transition to adulthood. I worked at an agency called 5 Acres for foster youth. I help them transition because if you don't have a mom or dad, who's going to teach you how to balance a checkbook? Who's going to teach you about even how to talk to a girl, how to talk to a guy? These are things that I help my foster youth do. I like to think I support, inspire, and motivate. I want to be a little bit like Miss Elwell, just a little bit. I can't be as good as her. I can't, not in my mind. But I just want to inspire people the way she inspired me. I told you guys about my choices. I graduated from Gardena High School in 1997. Out of 430 students, 116 people walked across the stage in 1997. That's out of 430 students, 116 people walked across the stage. My senior class was 430 eligible to graduate. 116 walked across the stage. Out of 430, 116 walked across the stage. It was the shortest damn graduation I've ever seen in my life. It was like a little small wedding party. It was. So my choices, after high school, I wasn't that tight of a student. So a lot of you are getting out of high school and you're thinking, like, what choice do I have? I'm here at Mount Sac. I'm not at West Covina. I'm not at Roland. I'm not at Workman High School. What options do I have? I knew I couldn't go to a university, so I wanted to go to a community college. I ended up going to Long Beach City College, but more importantly, I wanted to get out of my environment. Am I ashamed of my environment? Hell no. I love Gardena. If I was the person that got tattoos, I would get like Gardena tattooed on me because it made me who I am. But I wanted to escape that because I just wanted peace. I wanted serenity. I did the worst feeling in the world. The worst feeling in the world. You have no idea what it feels like to be scared walking home in your 12. To be scared. Not scared that you're going to get beat up. Scared that you're going to die. Not scared that somebody's going to take your lunch money. Scared that someone was, where are you from? That was my fear walking home. So that motivated me to say, you know what, I have choices. I don't have to get a job at UPS. I don't have to get a job working at the city. Working at FedEx, working at Target, my 20, 30 hours a week and making $40,000, getting a Honda with rim and Section 8, living in my apartment with my girl, that's not what I want in life. So I was driven to get out of that. I did not like that. I didn't like fear. Anybody like being afraid? Not at all. Anybody, you want your child to be afraid? Not at all. I was thinking about my future. So my choices were to get out. And I had some distractions. We all have distractions. A lot of my friends, oh, dog, you can make $20 an hour working at FedEx. Yeah. Get benefits. Good. Overtime all the time you want. All the time you want, cuz. Can't say cuz, though. UPS, though, hey, man, shoot. You ain't even got to buy work clothes. They give you uniforms. Spend more money on your Jordans. Don't even worry about it. Distractions. And I'm thinking to myself, do I want that at 30, 40? No. Albertsons. I worked at the grocery store. I worked at Lucky's. People that remember
Lucky's.
Oh, work at Lucky's. You become a checker. You make $20, $25 an hour. Plus medical benefits. Do I really, 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 really want to be in the year 2050, serving you since 1996? Hey, how you doing? Wait a minute, I'm sorry, I'm old now. No, I don't want to do that. More importantly, I wanted to have options. When I worked at Lucky's, something that kind of made a lot, I always knew I didn't want to work there forever, but something that changed my perspective on things, it was about 10:30 at night, and there was 3 guys. It was Alfred, Jaime, and I can't remember his name, Juan, and Armando. They were filling a milk box. I worked in Southgate. So everyone was the name, like, why was the name Hispanic? Because I worked in Southgate. So I'm filling a milk box. And I remember I'm like sweeping the floor, and they were talking about like the game or something. And the manager came by and said, hey, too much talking. And they got quiet. And I looked, and I was like, in my head, I'm a grown-ass man, dog. But they got quiet. Why did they get quiet? Because they have families. Because they have car notes. Because they have rent. And when you get into the position of working for one of these for X amount of years and you start to live a little, they own your ass. And I didn't want anybody to own me. I wanted to have options. So I wasn't going to let these distractions take away my options. You guys get what I'm saying? Partying. I love partying. I will. No. But it's a balance. It's a balance. It's an extreme balance. You know what? I go to the club Saturday night, but I got a test on Monday. Guess what I'm doing Sunday? Sunday morning, guess what I'm doing? I'm studying. I'm not sleeping all day and then coming in late. Oh, man, what happened? And, you know, my dog died, or, you know, my grandma, you know, she got in the car tonight, I have to take her. Or, you know, she don't even speak English. And, wait, I'm black, that don't work. No, just, you have to balance. And I've heard all these excuses as a counselor or a professor, but you have to balance. I have fun on Saturday night, Friday night, but guess what I'm doing Sunday? You have to balance. Or do it on Friday so you don't have to worry about it. All these distractions were obstacles that were in front of me, and I was not going to be that person that didn't have options. I was not going to be that person living in an apartment building, and that was one of my biggest inspirations. I lived in growing up, we lived in an apartment building with 36 units. Do you know how horrible it is to share 2 washers and 2 dryers with 36 other families, and your clothes finished washing, and somebody didn't touch your drawers and take them out and put them on top? You know how that feels? You feel so bad. Why you touch my drawers? I was timing it. It just stopped like 2 minutes ago. Oh, I was helping you out. Don't be touching myself. So again, motivation. And I'm telling you guys, all these little things along the way, these small little things that motivated me when I was taking my math class. Because I ditched the middle school. I remember that part. So I had to take it a few times in college. I had to take it a few times. So, you know what? I hate math. Oh, you know what? I really don't want to live in an apartment with the same washing machine. I really don't want to have to be catching a bus. I really don't want to be on a bus stop with my children in my life. These are things that motivate me. Obstacles, and I talked about some of the obstacles. Snoop was huge. I don't know why I put 50 in there. Playing ball, Bloods and Crips. Again, I'm going to tell you guys this, and you guys cannot go, oh my God, and ask me a bunch of questions. Okay? You promise?
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Y'all promise?
Yeah, we promise.
No, she said no. I have 9 brothers. 2 of my brothers are in prison. One of my brothers is in prison for the rest of his life. He's been in prison since June of 1990. He turned 18 May 10th, 1990. He has life. Say that again. He went to prison June of 1990. He turned 18 May 10th, 1990. He's never getting out. That was my prime example of, yeah, I won't do that. Some people embrace it. Oh, I got to put it down for my family. The best way I can put it down for my family is being able to provide for my family. I don't have a kid, no kids. I don't have a wife, but I can take my mom out for her birthday. I can take my daddy out. I can take my nieces and nephews. I can't do anything if I'm caged up or if I'm dead. So again, this is not something that I wanted. And I had a prime example of it in my older brother. Not something that I wanted. Did they call me a square? Sure did. Sure did. You know what happened? Well, I used to go get my hair cut. Now I just go ball to save money. When I go to the barbershop in my old neighborhood, right off of Rose Springs and Crenshaw, I give you guys streaks in case you guys want to check my validity. Cutting that barbershop. They go back and I see the old gang bangers look all smoked out, and they're like, you know what, cuz? They still say cuz. Hey, you know what, cuz? Hey, you did your thing, man. That's cool, man. I see you all, smart and books and stuff, and you own it now, man. I can't get a job. They be tripping on my felonies. Obstacles. I wasn't going to let them get in the way. My dreams and my goals. I love to dream. And one thing that I always tell people wherever I speak, take yourself out of your environment. Because if all you know is Gardena, if all you know is Compton, if all you know is La Fuente, all you know is Rolling Heights, go for a drive one day. See how other people live. You'll be inspired. You'll be inspired. My dream was buy a house. That's like numero uno dream. Buy a house. I used to dribble my basketball, and the manager would be like, stop dribbling that damn ball. I was like, damn, I'm just dribbling the ball, dude. Enjoy the game. I wanted to buy a house. I wanted to travel. And I'm not talking about just going to Vegas and staying at Circus and eating nasty hot dogs next door. I wanted to travel. I wanted to get out of the country. I love Michael Jackson. I liked Michael Jackson when it was not cool to like Michael Jackson. But I would always see Michael on TV, and he'd be in countries I ain't never even heard of. And he'd be singing and dancing, and people would be rocking out, and he would travel and have the police walking around him for a good reason. And he'd be doing all this stuff, and I was like, wow, I want to, what Budapest? What is a Budapest? I want to go there. So I wanted to travel, and not just going to Vegas or San Diego, not just the little field trips. I wanted to help my parents out. Every month I saw, it was like an operation for paying the bills every month. My mom would sit at the table and it's like, okay, I got these. How the hell am I going to pay these? I wanted to help her out because I didn't like my mom trying to decide which bills she was going to be able to pay. I also wanted to enjoy my career. My daddy's a mailman. He's been a mailman since 1973. He's walked a lot. And some days he don't feel like going to work. Some days he comes home tired. When it's raining, when it's really, really hot, he's out there. And sometimes I would hear him complain about his job. I never wanted to complain about my job. I love my job. I do my job for free. I just had a dead battery the other day on Golden Springs and Brea Canyon at the mobile right there. I gave the AAA guy that gave me a jump in my car because he's thinking about becoming a police officer. I told him about the law enforcement program here. I didn't get paid for that. That's just me doing my job. Because I love it. It's my career. I wanted to help kids out like me. I did not like the fact that my friends at Gardena did not have the same chances that my friends at Redondo had. And I have lifelong friends at both. But I wanted them to have both the opportunity. I wanted them to say, hey, you know what? I got to go to the college fair, but I didn't go to college. Okay, that's cool. I don't want them to say, you never had a college fair. That's not fair. I wanted to help out kids like me. I wanted to make my mom and dad proud. I've done tons of things, many accomplishments, but there's no greater accomplishment I get when I see my dad smile. There's no bigger accomplishment I hear when I see my mom, that's my baby. You should do a little dance. There's nothing, no check, no accolade from my supervisor, no nothing is better than that. So these were my goals and my dreams, and I was not going to let the obstacles that were in front of me, some of them were under my control and some of them weren't, I wasn't going to let them deter my dreams. There was a few things that I had to keep in mind. I knew I was going to have to study a lot harder than most people. Make that everybody. I'm an RSP student. I still feel myself as an RSP student, as a special education student. I still feel that way about myself. I still feel that I have to try harder than most. I put in the extra time. I hated my times tables. So I would write my times tables like 500 times. I would sing songs about my times table. When I was trying to get my job as a high school counselor or as a vice principal, I would go over all the ed codes and I would just memorize. I would put all the stickers on my mirrors and everything because I have to work harder because I'm an RSP kid, and that's okay. I've accepted who I am. I just know what I have to do to be successful. I studied everywhere. I dedicated myself, and I prioritized. Remember, I like partying. I like hanging with boys. I love basketball. I love football. But I had to have my priorities in line. My number one priority, you guys know, buying a house, getting an education, being able to provide for my family. I'm an RSP kid. I didn't get my jobs. My parents didn't go to university. Neither one of my parents graduated from high school. I'm a black kid from the hood. I remember, in 1990, there was no Barack Obama. About the coolest, most educated guy we saw on TV was Bill Cosby. You laugh, but that's the truth.
It's true.
It's the absolute truth. Think about this for a moment. And if those of you went to school around here, you're going to know what I'm talking about. At Mount SAC, maybe even right now, it might be your first experience having a black person as your professor. Growing up, all I saw, again, it's gangbanging 101. All I saw people that looked like me were gangbanging, or rapping, or dancing. I didn't see anybody pushing education so much. So, how did that make me feel? You know what? They're doing that, but I'm not going to base what they aren't on what I want to be. So I had to really, really make that really self-conscious decision for myself at a very young age. And I'm going to say that again. I'm not going to base myself on what they're not. I'm not going to buy into that. Even though I don't have a guy standing in front of me in a classroom in a suit doing this or doing that. Well, you know what? How about I make that guy? I become that guy. That's what I was thinking. I'm not good enough. We all doubt ourselves. We all doubt it, and that's natural. You doubt yourself? Okay, have a pity party. Enjoy the pity party. Get over it. Figure out what you're going to do, and move on. Because if you doubt yourself, oh shit, I'm 40 and I'm still doubting myself. Hey mom, can I have the remote control? That's where you're going to be. Okay? Staying focused. That's not my house. I wish that was my house. Travel, happy. Traveling and getting a house, those are things that make me happy. Absolutely. I couldn't afford to stop or get sidetracked. I was on a mission. Now, a lot of people would say that about me. Like, man, Jay, you trying to do it, man. You killing them. People say that about me now. Diana always say that about me. How many jobs do you have, Jeremy? Hey. I grew up around hustlers. I ain't going to make this money. I will. That's my philosophy. I'm collecting checks. You know what? One of the cats that used to, I can't believe I'm going to tell you this. One of the cats, he was a cool cat named Derek. He had a Cadillac. And he used to always have whatever you want. And he was always selling stuff. Not so much drugs, but he was selling stuff. And you know what his line was? Selling dreams. What's your dream? What's your dream? I'm selling dreams. So whatever the job description is, I'm your man. Same focus. I'm on a mission to succeed. Time management was very important for me. We didn't have, believe it or not, what year did you graduate from high school?
99.
99? So you got in right at the right time. I graduated in 97. I can remember the first time that I saw computers in the library, like a whole bunch of them. Computers weren't around in 1997, not abundantly like they are. You had to go to a payphone. I still remember being on a payphone at community college. So when I went to the library, I studied. When I went to the library, I wasn't on my phone texting or on Facebook because that stuff didn't exist. When I went to the library, I actually studied. Or slept. I slept a lot because I didn't have a car. I went to tutors, study groups, and study groups were really important for me because I surrounded myself that were motivated. I surrounded myself with students that were motivated like myself. I had to pass up some fun now for more later. For more fun later. Perfect example of that, so many parties that I passed up on. So many parties. Man, practical parties. Like, hey, you go to the club. Got you in, man. You ain't got to pay $10. That's how much you used to go. $10. You ain't got to pay $10. Man, I got this test, man. I need to save this money, man. At $10, that's gonna be, my jack in the crack for the next 2 days, man. I can't do it. had to pass up some fun then. Now I have my master's degree. I have a good career, make some cool money. You guys remember when the Miami Heat won the championship a couple years ago?
Yeah.
One of my buddies decided, hey Jay, he called us, hey Jay, Miami's gonna be cracking this weekend. You wanna go? I'm like, you down? Yeah, we bought tickets. Just off the way, me and my boy. Now, my friends that were going to the party, the $10 clubs, guess what they're still doing? Going to the $10 clubs. Doing the same thing. One of my biggest beliefs is, if you're partying in the same place in the next 10 years, you're doing something wrong. You shouldn't be having a kickback at your friend's house when you're 30. Like, yeah, you remember that time when we was 18 and your mom came in? That was funny, huh? You shouldn't do that. There should be some evolution in the things that you enjoy doing. You know who I'm talking about, too. Y'all just thought some people in your head that came to mind.
Yeah.
I'm not judging you. I got some in my family, too. Don't even worry about it. That's why I live in a gated community. True story. Resources. I went to Long Beach City College, and one of the biggest resources I had was financial aid office. I made friends with one of the ladies. I don't even know her name, but I know her face. Every time I walk by, I say, hey, girl, how you doing? When that check coming? Network. She knew me, I knew her. Networking. I had a go-to person. Counseling office, admissions office, career center, transfer center, tutoring, and then me. I was my greatest resource. Hey, how you doing? My name is Jeremy. Who you taking for counseling to? Who you got counseling to? Diane, oh, that's Diane. She's in charge of the ACES program. Oh, okay, yeah. Somebody's trying to just meet you. Yeah, when's your class? See how that works? Networking. Just that easy. I'm my greatest resource. You have all these things here, but you're with you 24/7, 365 days a week. You talk, meet people. Because here, in this classroom, we have future doctors, lawyers, teachers, pilots, engineers, you name it, we have it. These are your future social wealth. Your social wealth. And your social wealth. You can be wealthy with money, but you can also be wealthy socially. People that can assist you to do things. You get in some type of accident, you need a lawyer. You buy a house and you want someone to go over the contract. You know someone that does that type of law. Your social wealth is very much increased while you're in the community college. The payoff. Good times. And I make this I know how to spell all of this move because I made this on a PC. Sorry. This is me and my godfather. This is me in Long Beach City. You can't see, but I jumped up on there. I probably should have got arrested or something. Out of all these people here, when I got my bachelor's degree, my mom and my dad knew exactly who I was, even though we all had on little black robes. They all knew who I was because I'm their baby. So when your dad or mom, that's the big payoff. That's worth staying up. That's worth taking Diana's class in the evening. That's worth going to the mark. That's worth going to the writing center. That's worth sacrificing. That one little moment, it was actually Antonio Villaraigosa that was the keynote speaker. You shake the hand, you're like, hey, whoever. And then you're, that right there, that's the big payoff. That's the big payoff right there. That's what you want. That's what you're working for right now. That moment, okay? Professional network, social wealth here. Counselor at Citrus, she's a college counselor in LA Unified. Those are people that I can call. I have some, not at Citrus, at Golden West. I can call my boy Jimmy and say, hey, I got a student here from Golden West. Can you help me out with this and this? I can't call Derek. Remember the one that's selling dreams? I can't call, hey, Derek. Oh, your phone's not working. I didn't try to do that because you still live with your mom because you've been locked up so much. Yeah, can't do it. Social wealth. This is what you're creating here at Mount SAC. This is me clowning around. This is what I do. These are all the types of jobs that I've had, whether it's working at the middle school, jumping on a trampoline. I know, right? I got to pay for that. Clowning around with kids, going on conferences, high school graduations, or working at the community college. I enjoy everything that I do. I got hired as a high school counselor when I was 24 years old. I read my first book when I was 14. How the hell did I do that? I work for it. People always ask, what's your secret? Just work for it. If I could bottle my secret, y'all cool and all, but I would be a millionaire and be traveling the world. But people always say, how'd you do it? How'd you overcome this and go on to that? I worked hard. I sacrificed. I said no to certain people and yes to certain people. I affect change every day. And I like to give opportunity to students. I like to think that I give opportunity to students. I speak to students from actually elementary school to college about life, just in general, and the choices that they have. I enjoy my job every day. Whether it's making fun of Diana for something, or putting on the hits, or talking to students. Today I helped a young man that wants to be a history teacher. All these things I get to do and I get paid for. Sometimes honestly, this is the honest to God truth, sometimes I walk around here and I just stop and I thank God for what I have. Because I'm enjoying what I do. And it's not about the money. I just enjoy what I do. It gives me a good feeling about myself. And if you're not happy, if you're not having that feeling with your career that you work so hard for, then you need to get another career. If you're not just walking around saying, damn, I really like this. This is me. This is what I want. And find another career, because that's not your passion. My passion is helping people out. This is what I do. My fun, this is what I love to do. This is what I do in my spare time. This is what my job allows me to do. If I was still working at Lucky's, I wouldn't have these experiences here. I've been to about I've been to about, like, let's say 6 or 7 different countries, because we won't count the Caribbean. I've been to Niagara Falls in Canada. You guys see that episode of The Simpsons when Homer tried to make the guard move in London?
Yes.
I had to. He didn't move. This is the CN Tower, the second tallest building in the world. Zip lining somewhere in front of Buckingham Palace, the new Freedom Tower in New York. Yes, black people swim. This is me doing that. I never knew that people didn't think black people swim until I went to Redondo. I was like, man, you go to the hood, you see all kinds of black people in the pool. I don't know where I get that thing from. I don't know. But I love to do this stuff, and my job affords me these opportunities. And no one gives me a hard time. You're taking time off? What? Yeah, I'm taking time off. I'm going to take some more off, too. And you're going to pay me for it. Choices, opportunities. How did I do it? I stayed focused. I hung around motivated people. I always remember what my goals were. I envisioned my goals. And I worked hard. That's all. That's all. There was no magic. That's all I did. Miss Elwell was right. That's me and Miss Elwell. Miss Elwell was going to all of my graduations. All of them. Elementary, I would put my elementary picture up there, but they're going to make fun of my flat top. That was a style. Especially you. Ms. Elwell has gone to elementary, middle school, high school. This is my associate's degree. She went to my bachelor's degree. She went to my master's degree. And she always tells me, Jeremy, I'm so proud of you. Just in that tone. Just in that tone. My name is Jeremy, guys. Thank you for letting me share my story. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, just don't throw stuff at me. I'm down to stay and answer any questions you may have.
Do you all have any questions? This is the time to ask.
They're like, no, let us already. I've been there. Yeah.
How did you balance like your party time and like your school time? Did you have like a schedule set or?
Yeah, I have this crazy, innovative thing that a lot of people don't use now. Right when you walked in my room, that's my door right there where the phone is. I had a calendar. And I just wrote when stuff was due. And I just said, oh, I got a test coming up. Can't party today. that's all it was. That's all it was. No one, again, it comes from within. And the motivating factors that I told you about, whether it was the violence or the washing machine or different things like that, that kind of was my reminder of balancing. And I always knew that there would be a party next week. Oh, it's going to be the tightest party ever. It's going to be this. And people, for those of y'all that grew up in the hood, people in the hood, we party. Like, we party hard because that's all we can afford to do. Party, move the furniture, turn up the stereo, and it's a house party. But I had to balance that because I knew what I wanted. And it was just all, discipline within me. Self-discipline is huge. We talk about self-motivation a lot in college, but it's really self-discipline to say, I'm not going to go to the club tonight. I'm not going to go to the movies tonight. It'll be on DVD, probably in like 3 weeks now. That's all it was. Just keeping the calendar. My calendar really, really helped me out. That's all it was. And yes.
How did you get through your challenge with the math?
Her name was Kaylee. She was the tutor. She wasn't like that, y'all. Everybody, ooh. She was a tutor in the library. And literally, at Long Beach City, I made my schedule around her tutoring hours. Because I took the equivalent of Math 71 4 times.
71.
Intermediate algebra. It took me 4 times to pass that. And I didn't pass it until I had my come to Jesus meeting and said, okay, I got to talk to a tutor, like every day. So Kaylee helped me out. If I wish I knew where to find her at right now.
4 times.
4 times. 4 times. Yeah. 4 times. And I every time I took it, I was so discouraged. I can't believe it, man. I can't even understand that dude, man. How they even hire him? And forget that, man. That class too early. And I would blame everybody except me. And I would think back to second period lunch and ditching.
But did it finally just click in for you and you got
No, it was a struggle. I got a C. It was the hardest C I ever got. But I got it.
You got it.
I got it. I got it. I still struggle with math right now, but I embraced my struggle, and I know what I have to do with my struggle. That's the biggest thing. Whatever your struggle is, just embrace it and do what you have to do to get over the hump. We all have struggles. I can do things that, like that you can't, and you can do things like that I can't. So we just have to embrace our struggles. Don't try to sweep them under the rug, because that's just going to delay your goal. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Money, cash, donation.
Any questions? That's it?
I have another one.
Yes.
Okay, when you was in college, was you like a full-time student?
I was a full-time student, and I worked full-time. I skipped the part about me teaching preschool. When I left Long Beach City, I got my associate's degree in child development, and I worked at a preschool full-time, and I went to school at night. I was always a full-time student. And when I worked at Lucky's, I worked like 25 hours a week, but the thing about that was I didn't have a car. So for those of you who know Los Angeles and the freeways, I went to Long Beach City by the Lakewood Mall. By that time, we moved to Downey. My mom moved to Downey by the Stonewood Mall. I worked in Southgate off the 710 in Imperial. I was on the bus. That's far. So that's far. Yeah, it's bad. So working 25 hours, it took me 25 hours to get to work. But you know what I did on the bus stop? I studied. You know what I did on the bus? I studied. You know what I did on the bus too? I cussed out everybody that was passing, like, I want to be in. It's hot. It's raining. That's the worst feeling in the world to be on a bus when it's hot or raining. Waiting for the bus. You're like, but that motivates you.
Yeah.
That motivates you to want to change it, to be that person with the car. My first car was a hoopty, but it could have been like a Lexus. I was happy I didn't have to be on a bus anymore. Any other questions? What do you guys think?
Pretty good.
It's good.
Pretty good? No? Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
It motivated me to. Like,
Inspirational.
I'm glad. Hey.
Like how you said that you would get inspired by big houses and stuff. Like I've been around that, but just to drive there, it's one thing to have friends that have that because you take it for granted because you're just at their house to have fun, or you're around that because you're family, But to just go there and you're in your own mindset, you're in your own vehicle, and you're thinking about your own life, and that's another thing.
One of the things that I used to do, and I'm so glad I never got arrested for it. When I went to college, I lived on Rosecrans and Crenshaw, and apartment building was a street full of freaking apartments. I would drive up to Palos Verdes, which is a beach community up above Redondo Beach, and I would find nice houses, and I would go in front of the houses and be like, and I would take a picture in front of the house, and I would put it up in my room. And one of the things that I really enjoyed about PV, and I would walk, and if you took a tour to PV, you would think I lived there. I can tell you every back street in PV. I know my way around PV. I used to walk around there. And you know what I liked about PV? What do you think the most thing I liked about PV? It was quiet.
Yeah.
It was quiet. It was quiet. You didn't hear anybody, hey, no, come on, no. You didn't hear that. It was
Quiet.
And I love quiet. I love quiet. I know I talk loud, but when I go home, I'm quiet. Sometimes I don't even turn on TV. I put on some little jazz, soft, just sit there. Because I like quiet. Because that's such the opposite of sirens, of a helicopter, people yelling. Remember, apartments, you're on top of each other. You can hear what this person's arguing about. You can hear about this person, people underneath you. So that's what I loved about PV, and that's helped me envision my goals, and that motivated me. I used to do that. I have so many pictures of me in front of houses. Don't do that. Don't be calling out saying, this guy, Jeremy, you work there, you told me to go in front of the house, I got arrested in Laverne. Any other questions? No? All right. You guys
Well, I just want to thank you before you take off.
Oh.
I just want to thank you sincerely because Jeremy is one of the hardest workers that I know. He's been here since 8 a.m. and right when I told him if he can present to the class. He said yes, without, even thinking about it. Maybe 3 months ago or 2 months ago when I asked you, right? Kind of tricked you into it.
Yeah,
But he, I've known him for 2 years, 2 years now, right? So, and he's just one of the hardest workers I know. And so, again, he works here at Mount Sac, so you guys can go see him. It might probably be a long time to get to see him because he's just that popular. But
Stop it.
But you guys can go see him and make an appointment with him. Make an appointment with him and go see him and check out your educational plan. But he's here for you guys, for Mount Sac students. Okay? So now you know somebody here that you know his story, you know Jeremy, and thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Give a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.